Hi, welcome back. I'm Meg. I'm a brand photographer based in San Diego, California. I've worked with over 400 entrepreneurs to help them feel confident on camera and magnetize their brand. And now I coach photographers like you on how to build a thriving branding photography business that gives you freedom and purpose and abundance. So today I want to talk about ways you can improve your brand photos and portfolio as a brand photographer so you can attract those clients you really want to work with. I've had the honor of doing hundreds of portfolio reviews for photographers at this point, and there's some common mistakes I've seen that are little things you can fix pretty easily to really elevate your photos so they look a lot more professional, a lot more cohesive, a lot more refined, and really so they make your clients look good. It's all about our clients. At the end of the day, clients hire you to make them look good in photos because they don't feel confident that they can do it themselves, right? The first mistake I see some photographers making that can really make you look like an amateur is just having inconsistent editing and shooting styles. Maybe you're working with all kinds of clients, like you're still working with families and newborns and you're doing some headshots and some branding, but you're showing it all and it's a little bit confusing. It just makes you look like more of a generalist photographer and not a specialist. And so I would encourage you, go all in. You can still serve the other clients. Of course, we need to make money while we're building up the brand photography side of our business, but just go all in on not sharing those photos anymore and just focusing on sharing your branding clients, your headshots on your main Instagram feed, on your website, because what we share, what we show in our portfolio and marketing as photographers is what we're going to attract more of. Every now and then I might have a photo shoot with a client that isn't my favorite photo shoot for whatever reason. I don't feel like it's really in alignment with the rest of my portfolio or the type of clients I want to work with moving forward. So maybe I'll do a sneak peek on my stories and tag the client, but I'm not going to put it on my main Instagram feed. I'm going to focus on sharing the images that are aligned with my current style of brand photography and are aligned with the type of clients I want to attract moving forward. And with the editing style being inconsistent. So I am all for using presets, but I really recommend you create your own presets based on just a really simple, clean edit, a balanced white balance, and not too dark, not too bright. Something that's just a classic, timeless, true to life edit is typically what most brands I've worked with want. Now, of course, there's exceptions to the rule. You may have a brand that wants a very specific edit or look for their photos so it matches the rest of their branding and how they want to market. That's really important. So you can always offer that as a custom edit for clients. But in terms of the portfolio you show, I really recommend dialing in consistency with your images. Sometimes I look at brand photographers' portfolios, and as I'm scrolling, some of the images and skin tones just look way off. Like this group is a little warmer and it looks like they use a specific preset, and then the next group it looks like they edited differently. The exposure is darker than this batch. Like it's all over the place, and that's like such a red flag when clients are looking through your portfolio and deciding if they want to invest with you. I wouldn't hire a brand photographer who's all over the place because I don't know what I'm going to get. So to improve your editing, it comes with practice and experience, but watch videos, watch tutorials, take courses on this so you can really learn how to dial in the edits. And also, less is more. When I look at my first edits I did, and I used like random presets and would just over edit the photo constantly. So when you're making edits, just do little micro adjustments to the photo, to the exposure, to the color, to the contrast, and start to create your style and match that style across all your client photo shoots. One of the best ways to work on your consistency with your style is to get it right in camera if you can. The lighting, the exposure, even the white balance. What I do is just auto white balance and I correct the white balance in editing. I also have created my own preset, so that really helps because I run all my client photos through my preset. And it's some really subtle things. Like I do a little small S curve to my photos to make them pop a little bit more. I kind of bring the hue up on my greens. I tend to bring the yellows down just a little bit. I like to bump the vibrance a little bit. Just like very like little shifts though. Nothing like super major because I like to just try to keep it true to life. I don't want to over edit the photo. Another thing that helps me just double check my work and make sure my edits are really consistent is after I edit, I will purposely step away. This is my ritual. I'll go on a walk or I'll go do something or I'll come back to the photos the next morning because I'll let my eyes kind of reset after doing the edits. Then I come back to my computer and I like to do the gallery view in Lightroom and I slowly scroll through the gallery view and I start to see, do all the photos look like they go together? You know, the lighting is consistent scene to scene, outfit to outfit. The color looks consistent on the client's skin tone. It doesn't go from super cool to super warm. And I'll make micro adjustments here. Usually there's like a couple little micro adjustments I'll have to make to a few of the photos or a batch here and there before I feel like they are completely ready and I feel really good about it, really proud of them, and then I'll do the final export. Yes, this is an extra little step, but checking your work for quality and making sure your style is on point is worth it because it's the little details that really add up to create that consistent look. The next mistake I see photographers making, especially if you're new to branding, is just like the wrong lens choice and or focal length. It depends on, how far away you are from the client, subject to camera distance, as well as, what you're really going for in the photo. But in general, branding photography, I think looks best at 50 millimeter to 85 millimeter. Somewhere in that range. When you get wider than 35, this is where I see a lot of distortion happening in the photos and with our clients. We're distorting their body, their height, we're distorting the look of the room. Maybe in rare circumstances, if it's like a storytelling image and you're trying to capture the whole scene and get a really specific look with all the details in the shot, great. But I think in general, for most of our personal branding photos, we want to be between 35 to 85, not too zoomed in beyond 85 and not too wide. I'm just going to go ahead and answer this question now because I get it all the time. What's my favorite lens? So I would say 90% of my shots or more, probably more, I am taking with my 50 millimeter 1.2 prime lens. I have a Canon RF. So that's what I use. That's what I love. And that's what is kind of like my sweet spot for lenses. But I know other brand photographers who love the 35. Just start to have some kind of consistency to your work so you can develop a style, a recognizable style. And then the next thing I want to talk about is lighting. Obviously, as photographers, it's one of the most important things that we're making decisions on for every photo is the lighting. And again, we want to strive for consistency, for like creating our style when it comes to lighting. And one way to do that is by using like a one light setup, like a strobe or a speed light or even a constant light, which can be good for video because then you're getting a constant light for video clips and photos. And if you're like me and you have an assistant doing iPhone video clips for social media content next to you, it is nice to have that constant light for them instead of the like strobe going off. So there's that. But whatever your choice is, start to get comfortable with using lighting and using it often because it does create more consistency in your work. And look, I didn't use lighting for years. I only did natural lighting. I was kind of a brat when it comes to the locations I would choose because I would only get a location with great natural light. And I am in San Diego. We do have sun and great weather like 350 days a year. So I'm spoiled in that way. But, at one point it wasn't enough. I got into a couple scenarios with clients in different locations where for whatever reason, the lighting was not as bright as I was hoping for, and the photos didn't come out as good as they could have. So I've made mistakes over the years and I've learned it is just so much better to be prepared with some lighting so you can get that cohesive and consistent style your clients are expecting from you. If lighting is something you're still a little bit intimidated by, I would love to see you at one of my brand photographer retreats because we practice simple one light setups you can do anywhere with your clients that are really easy. I promise you can learn this too. I was definitely intimidated by lighting and tried to avoid it at all costs. But at one point, when we decided we want to be not just good photographers, we want to be great brand photographers, and we want our portfolio and our images to really scream high quality and polished, we got to start using some lighting in certain situations. The last thing I want to talk about is your clients, how they're looking on camera in your portfolio. And I'm talking about like their wardrobe choice, the state of their wardrobe. Is it all ironed and pressed? Does it fit their body well? Or is it like tight and pinching their body in some places? Their hair, does it look amazing in every photo? The makeup that they chose, accessories, props, like all these things. It's not just our client's job to show up and know what to do. It's our job as a brand photographer to give them some guidance with this. Some of my best tips for giving guidance on this is to create a style guide. And you can easily do this by talking to ChatGPT or doing a little research on some very basic like wardrobe tips for brand shoots that are going to help your clients, give them some guidance, help them look and feel amazing. You can link to a little Pinterest style board of some brand photos you can pull from other photographers' portfolios you admire, where their clients are looking super polished, super professional, and you can add that to a little wardrobe style board for your clients so they have some visual ideas and you guys can talk about it back and forth. I also have my clients send me pictures of them wearing the different outfit options a week before their photo shoot or a few weeks before, just so I can look over and give them feedback. And I'll be brutally honest with my clients. I'll tell them like what outfits look amazing. I'll tell them what outfits I'm feeling like doesn't really pop on camera or isn't my favorite look on them. I will tell them maybe like some other ideas for shoes or accessories or maybe like a different way to wear the shirt. I've just learned this over the years from working with 400 entrepreneurs of what looks good on camera, on a brand shoot. And I think sometimes just like having the conversation with our clients and holding that space for them to open up about how they're feeling, for you to give a few ideas, it's so supportive for our clients. It's going to really help you stand out as a photographer, including like tips like make sure you steam all your clothes ahead of time and they're all ready to go for your brand shoot. That is really important because I've definitely had clients that show up, the clothes are not ready, they're not steamed, and we're rushing and we're kind of stressing to get everything together. And then that takes away from your photography time. And then with hair and makeup, you just want to have some referrals in your back pocket of some incredible stylists, some incredible makeup artists that will help your clients look and feel amazing on camera. Do your research, talk to some other professional photographers, branding photographers, wedding photographers in your area of who are their favorite makeup artists and hairstylists to work with. And that's actually how I found my team, is just by like talking to other photographers and vendors in the industry and connecting with people that way. My last tip for you is to slow down. As a new photographer, I know it's exciting and we want to get as many photos as we can for the client, but slowing down, taking your time, doing a head-to-toe check of your client, making sure their hair looks great, the wardrobe looks good, taking time to pose them correctly, like all of this is going to add up to better photos. I definitely used to be an overshooter. I got a lot of good photos, but not a lot of great photos. And I want you to have a portfolio of really amazing, great photos. And this is how you're going to get there. So I hope these tips were helpful. Let me know in the comments below, what was your favorite tip? What are you taking away? Maybe what are you already doing good at? And what could you be doing even better at supporting your clients or keeping in mind for your photos? If you want more support with all of this, I have a course called The Pose Method where I go into all of these details. You get to see me behind a photo shoot and you get to see exactly what settings I'm using for all my client photo shoots with my camera. And you get to see me posing in real life and directing and see how I like go in to fix the hair and do everything we talked about to make sure my clients are getting amazing photos that they're going to love. And if you want to improve your photos fast, I want to invite you to my in-person retreat in San Diego coming up soon, where we will have 2 days together to practice all of this. You'll get feedback from me. You'll get to practice with other brand photographers. You're going to learn so much just from watching the other brand photographers direct and pose their clients. You're going to see how a brand photo shoot is done start to finish for a really fun day, and you'll walk away with a portfolio of 4 new real business owners, diverse business owners, so that you can feel confident in your marketing this year and actually show brand photos, the type of images that are going to attract clients who want to invest in brand photography with you. It is going to be game changing. This is like the most fun thing I do all year, and it's so impactful for you as the photographer if you're really looking for something to just give you momentum and give you that boost and motivation you need to have an incredible year booking your dream brand clients. Please come join us in San Diego. It will be so worth it. You'll be so happy you said yes and you made the trip, and I'll get to meet you and we'll get to hang out for 2 days in person. How awesome will that be? Another big part of the retreat I just want to mention is getting you brand photos and behind the scenes content for your marketing. So that's actually built into part of what we're doing at the studio. You're going to swap brand photos and headshots with the other photographers there so that you walk away with all new brand photos of you to market your business with. And I'll be encouraging everyone to capture as many BTS videos on your phone as you can of you working with real clients behind the scenes with your camera. This is gold for your marketing. You're going to have so many clips to choose from to go back and make reels with and plan your marketing with for the rest of the year. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon in San Diego.